I almost ran somebody over.
At 12?
At the Italian.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Yeah, if I wouldn't have directed you just a little bit with my hand, you would have walked right into
If
him.
looks could kill.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I didn't see him, but I'm sure.
You've never gotten that look from me.
No.
You're welcome.
you're welcome.
Could you imagine that? Just me, all leather. You, all leather.
And then Don.
I'd have shit myself. Like, if I was him, I would have fucking shit myself. Fucking pussy. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It was a fun fest, though.
It was a fun fest.
It was.
Very sunburned.
Even though someone doesn't like Italians.
Who doesn't like Italians?
What about that sparkly moose knuckle that we saw?
Oh, my God. I
With
was seriously,
legs.
like, I seriously forgot about it, and now you brought it back up. Now
It
it's
was like Dolly
bad.
Parton's moose knuckle with legs.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was not a great sight to see, Danny.
I'm glad I did not see it.
There was so much glitter.
I think
It's burned in my brain. I can still see it. It's blue and it's everywhere.
I actually I regret I left too early that night.
Why, you didn't get to take her home?
I think I left around 7, and they said it ended up being pretty busy because Dick Diamond was performing.
I like Dick Diamond and the Dusters.
Yeah, and they usually...
I feel like I've seen him before.
They do all the
Oh,
costumes and like eras.
I
and
guarantee you have. I don't know what they haven't played here.
stuff. They're everywhere. I
Yeah,
guarantee
I'm
you.
probably.
But they usually carry like a pretty big crowd with them.
Yeah.
So alcohol sales were up that night, I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
Which was needed because it was dead on Friday because of the heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunday was a decent crowd.
Saturday we went to the Blue Top.
Yeah.
We were on a bike at Blue Top, and then after Blue Top, where did we go?
Speaking of which,
We went right there, and then we went for dinner. We smashed some
Smash
wings.
some wings at Vito's again.
all this talk about us not riding anywhere. I've had my bike, and I've seen you post pictures of you out on the bike. If you're on a date night, fine, but you don't ever ask me to go riding anymore. Now I finally have my bike at my house, and you don't ever ask me to go. Anyways, that's it.
Danny sounds kind of jealous.
No, just I don't ever want to hear him say, we don't ride anywhere, because you don't ask me to go riding.
Because you never want to ride.
I always want to ride. Ask Jamie. That didn't sound right.
Nope.
I was going to say in that.
Don't take my... That
I
is...
seen it was coming. I seen it was
Then
coming.
let me get it out. Don't take my
Oh, look at that.
Take my ope.
And then Sunday we laid by the pool for a few hours.
That's like my favorite part of Sundays.
And then I played softball, which that was...
Sunday softball was reckless.
It was. We had fans running out on the field, ready to fucking knock out the ump.
What?
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah, she had no business being out. She had no business being anywhere near that field.
She had no business being
At the game.
at the game.
Drunk?
Something. I'm not sure what she was.
I was busy selling 50-50 all day Sunday.
Yeah, which, by the way, thanks for rigging that for me. I didn't win anything.
Oh, yeah, the one you guys got into, I think the winner got 400.
Yeah, well, guess how much I got? Nothing. Zilch.
Well, the big raffle I didn't win, so.
I figured it would have been way more than that with how many people were there.
Speaking of raffle, we got to get out of here before 9 o'clock, 9:30.
Why?
I don't know. Mega Millions, I'm going to be a billionaire, but I got to buy my ticket first.
You should have bought your ticket already, homie.
We bought ours.
We
yesterday.
bought ours yesterday. I told when not to really bring up work, but I was in a parking lot getting ready to leave, and Russell was coming out, and I go, "All right, Russ." I was like, "If I don't see you Tuesday, it's because I'm a billionaire."
And then I get a text. All right, babe. Bought my ticket.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm getting gas and I'm doubling our money.
So if you don't see Lupe on Tuesdays because he's a billionaire.
Yeah. Trust me.
And vice versa.
Trust me. I'm clear that he won't keep my ass around.
Well, it's not because he got rid of her. It's because he's at the store buying a whole bunch of Halloween shit.
Right.
Draining my bank account that I have.
Lupe, where are you? The girly store?
Right.
I'm looking for a spirit Halloween, all right?
Well, I mean, that shouldn't be too hard these days.
Yeah, keep looking for the abandoned Kmart.
Do you want to start the episode for real?
Yeah.
This is
We're already 10, 12 minutes in.
a good intro.
Missing someone with all your heart. Missing someone with heart.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Impulsive Thoughts.
You know, I don't have my headphones on, right? So I heard that.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you hear?
What she just said.
I didn't even hear what she said.
Be glad you didn't.
You said burp in your mouth next time, didn't you?
Taste it.
That's so gross. I kind of read her lips. That's why I was like, What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing today?
Yeah, I'm alive still. I'm breathing.
I don't know. After all that beggars you had, you might not be breathing much longer.
Might be breathing heavy, so I got to mute me. Like,
He's got the pizza sweats.
Anyways, I'm joined here today with everybody.
Yay, Ray Button!
Danley.
yes!
All right.
Danny finally decided that his family's not more important than us.
Yay! Danley.
Danley.
And I found my kids last week.
Oh, yeah. That
Well, that's
what it
good.
Yeah,
was.
he did get off the phone pretty abruptly. Like, I gotta go. I gotta find my kids.
Great.
They're somewhere in this neighborhood.
Fine.
I knew exactly where they're at. I was just trying to make good storytelling.
Great.
But it
They
also,
were
I
sitting
just,
right in front of him.
now, it had gotten dark quick, and they were next door, and I didn't want, like, the neighbors to be like, your kids are here too much. I'm like, let me go get
Your
them.
kids are here too. Sir, aren't you supposed to be watching them? Why are they at our house?
Speaking of which, listen to this shit. This is one of those things that irks me. Irks me to the bone, and I couldn't believe my own kids said it yesterday.
Oh, here we go.
Yesterday. So we picked them. I picked them up yesterday from Grandma's house. When I get home from work, I do that. And we got home, and Jamie wasn't home. She had a meeting, like, for once out of the house. Like, she had to go on site yesterday. So we got home. The kids see that. They're like, "Oh, Mama's car's not here." They're like, "Dada, are you babysitting us tonight?" I go, "No." I go, "I'm watching you tonight. I'm your dad. I don't babysit you. When you're with me, you're hanging out with Dad." I go, "When Mom watches you, she's not babysitting you. She's just with you. She's your mom." I go, "Do not say I'm babysitting you. You're my kids. I don't babysit my kids. I parent my kids." So I was like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, "No, I'm not babysitting you. I'm hanging out with you. I'm being
I don't
with
get
you."
paid
Right.
to do this.
I'm being with you. I'm being your dad.
Trust me, if I got paid to do this, I'd be a lot better mood.
I was so mad, and I couldn't, like, I didn't, like, yell at them. I'm just like, no, but I was sternly said, "No, I'm not babysitting you. I'm watching you. I'm with you. I'm your dad." I'm like, don't say I'm babysitting you.
Who was I saying that to? I was like, yeah, Dan's babysitting. No, he's not babysitting. He's being a dad.
Yeah, I'm like, that just irks me when they say something like that.
I never thought about it that way, but yeah, that would piss me off too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not.
So does Jamie pay you when you babysit?
Yeah, what's the going
What's the going
rate?
rate?
Going right. 1 BJ per hour. No. Just
I
So
quit.
you don't babysit.
So I haven't gotten a BJ in 10 years, is what I'm saying.
Right. That the going rate of babysitting is going down in the neighborhood.
Yeah. So yeah, I was just like, that was just funny to me. I'm like, don't say that, girls.
And I mean, like, I get where they're coming from because
Right.
they're kids and they're just thinking like
Right.
that's the term for like when
Right.
an adult is with them.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
but it's just like it said, it struck a chord because, like,
You're their dad, like you're supposed to be with them.
right, and I've never heard them phrase it that way before, ever. Like, "Oh, Dad is with us tonight. That's it."
Right.
And for them to say, so it like, kind of made me, like, rethink, like, am I not with them enough, or they think I got to babysit them now?
Probably
But I'm
just
with
heard
them all
their
the time,
friends,
right?
saying it, you know.
And like I said, I think it.
I done thinked it
Right, I
over.
thought over. it.
Danley done think they're wrong.
Right.
Danley.
So I was like,
Danley.
damn it.
Damn it, Danley.
Yes.
Sounds like a King of the Hill character.
Danley.
Hey, Danley.
Damn it, Bobby.
Damn it, Dan.
God damn it, Bobby. Them kids whacking in my tool shed again.
Bills.
They've been at it
Why do I
since 6
keep
o'clock
getting
this
bills
morning.
mailed?
I sell propane and propane accessories. So, now that I interrupted your hello, we're all back together again. We got Donnie Rowe to your right. Dan on top of him. That's what you said the one time.
And I enjoyed that
Yeah.
quite thoroughly. And I'm over here by myself.
Ellie P on her left.
And Alli Pete left.
Allie's just sitting over there watching.
Yeah.
Oh,
How I like
She's
it.
knitting. She's knitting cock socks for us.
I crochet.
You're
That's
right.
the only correction. Not the cocksock part, the crochet.
Not the cocksock part.
all right. So,
Oh, is there an announcement?
Don, do you have an episode for us?
I mean, we already talked about this, but no.
It's okay. Because somebody fucking killed it on notes this week.
Who?
Allie, what do you have for us today?
Danny's like, sure wasn't me, so who was it?
As I'm looking at Danny when I was saying that.
I'm like, you should have told me to bring my notes if it was me.
He's like, my Eliza Lamb story's still not done. It's just my name.
No. I have video proof.
I have 16 pages of notes that we're going to cover today.
Jesus
About what?
Christ.
Well, I don't know if we'll go through all 16. It might be a two-parter.
Two-parter?
Tupada.
Yeah, I wasn't kidding. Like, I have 16 pages of notes.
But what's it about, though? I don't know. That's awesome.
So, we're going to do a disappearance today.
Ooh, who's
Who
disappearing?
are we making
Me?
disappear?
I'm sure.
I mean, unless you want to.
I'm sure you probably have heard the name, and you might have. I want to say Stir the Pot covered it, but I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember.
So I introduced Lupe to this case last week, and we happened to just be laying in bed, and I was like, have you ever... I don't know if you've ever met me, but I'm random as fuck.
I don't know if you've ever met me.
No,
And,
who are you?
My name is Allison Darrell Perselsky, and I have these random fucking psychotic thoughts where...
Spelled like Daryl, but pronounced derail.
Right, where's your man? Is he big? Is he coming back?
Can I get your number?
Do you like Mike and Ike's? So...
Did your boyfriend get my guy?
Okay, hold on. So, like, out of, like, randomly, I was like, I looked at him and I was like, have you ever heard of Bryce Lapisa? And he was like, I'm sorry, what?
And they did cover it. I
Bryce
just looked
Lice
it up.
Pizza?
Bryce Lapisa.
Yeah.
That's her name or his name?
It's a boy, yes. So, this is
His last name's Pizza?
Lapisa.
Oh.
Laspisa. Lapisa.
Kind of like the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
I thought you were saying the name of a pizza place.
Right, that's not like Bryce's Pizza. Like, where's that at?
Laspisa. I can't say
Where
it
did this
'cause-
happen?
So, we're going to get into all that.
Well, I'm jumping the gun.
Yes.
I want to know if I've heard of it before because I've heard of a few missing people.
Okay, so...
Okay, I'll let
Danny,
you
you're
start.
not
Don't let
s-
me intro. Just start.
Danny,
Go ahead.
you're
Go
not
ahead.
supposed to say that out loud.
Say what out loud?
That you've heard of missing people. That
Why?
you're supposed to bust the case open and solve it.
No, not like I've heard of. Never mind.
Call Crime Stoppers.
God damn it.
Well, I was going more for the joke of he made them go missing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Donnie.
But I'm cheap.
yeah. Okay. Anyways, yeah. Do you just sit there with your feet up and look pretty? You're too pretty for jail, remember?
Yes, I am.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I just like saying that because it makes Don so mad.
I can't. Why haven't I kicked all these Dans off? We can make it only Dans and Dons. If that makes sense to you.
Dans and Dons. Only Dans and Dons.
So I have to have
Why is
another
that so
patch made.
catchy?
It really is, kind of.
I have to have another patch made.
Speaking of patches, congrats on yours.
Thank you. Oh my god, my Grateful Dead patch. finally
After
came
2
in.
months.
did it?
Fucking yeah.
Do you? Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Because of you, I know you have your bag and stuff. Is it for a bag, or do you have like a vest you're putting
I
it on?
have a vest.
Oh, so Donnie's showing it to me.
Thank you. I have a vest.
That's a pretty cool Technicolor lightning bolt there.
Fucking rad, yeah.
So that's a Grateful Dead
And-
thing. Like, is it like is there a lightning bolt one of their symbols, or is it? And okay,
I was going to actually say I like how the top and the bottom of the vault lines exactly up with the middle of the vest.
I put it that way.
So,
Okay.
Bryce Harper Pizza.
Right.
Bryce Harper Pizza.
Okay, Bryce Las Pisa.
Bra Las
Las Pisa,
Pizza.
but I can't say that. So, all right. Bryce David Las Pisa was born on April 30th, 1994 to proud parents Karen and Michael in Springfield, Illinois. So he's a local guy. Actually, he grew up in Naperville before moving cross country to California.
Naperville, if you listen to Morbid.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
pissed me off so bad. I was like, and did you hear what they said? They
Also,
go,
if you
"They
listen-
take a lot of naps up there. I was like, because it's Naperville.
Oh, did you hear when
Also-
they finally came
Corrected
back the
it?
following week? They're
Yeah.
like, we got
Also-
so much shit last week.
Yeah.
Also, if you listen to people from Naperville, they're also part of Chicago. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
so are people in Hammond, Indiana, and East Chicago. They're
And Portage and,
And-
Homewood.
and
I'm from
fucking-
there.
no.
Normal
They
Illinois.
are from Chicago. I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. And from Homewood, I'm like, I'm from a suburb of Chicago.
So I had this talk with someone the other day. Like, if I'm in Illinois or Chicagoland area, I'll give the city I'm from. Hey, I'm from Lansing. I'm from the south suburbs.
Yeah.
If I'm out of state, like the one meme I shared years ago. Oh, where are you from? Northwest Indiana. Where's that? A suburb of Chicago. Where's that? I'm the fucking bean. I am
Yeah.
the bean.
Right, I
So-
am Chicago. I am a Chicago hot dog.
Right. Outside of the whole Midwest area. Where are you from? I'm like, oh, one of the Chicago suburbs. Oh, but where? I'm like, well, actually in Indiana, but I'm closer to Chicago than anything in Indiana. Well, where? I'm like, well, Hammond. Well, where's that? I just fucking told you. I'm from the Chicago suburbs. I'm 30 minutes from Chicago. That explains everything, but I just crossed the state line. Because, yeah, like you said, when you get out of state, you know,
Right,
people...
It doesn't fucking matter
It's-
because no one knows, but they
Right.
just want to make conversation, but then you just end up wasting my time.
Right. So a lot of times I'll avoid that. Sometimes, like, depending how far away I am, I'm from Chicago. And then, well, what part of Chicago? I'm like, well, the south side. Oh, well, what? No, just Chicago. I don't want to talk about it. You know?
Right.
Okay. So sorry. Naperville.
All right, so he actually grew up in
Springfield.
Naperville before moving cross country to California.
that was you, not me.
What? Fuck you. Oh, it's talking about Naperville. Thank you, Siri.
Siri? Well, all right.
Here we go. Siri's back at it again.
All right, so just a little bit about him. So he's actually super talented with art. He's been drawing and working on his portfolio since he could pretty much hold a pencil. And his parents also boast about how well spoken he is, and they were quoted saying he would talk about any subject. He's an open book. He's their only child, and they felt extremely close to him due to him being an only child. Mm-hmm. So then, like I said, they moved from Naperville. Just kidding. Naperville to California. So once he graduated from Naperville Central High School in 2012, his parents had also recently retired and they decided to make the big move to Laguna Niguel, California, which is in Orange County, California.
I'm going back to... Sorry.
That's okay. So that's in Orange County, California. So with that move, Bryce applied and began attending Sierra College in Rocklin, California. So when I GPS'd it, because I couldn't find it in any sources, this is literally what my notes say. When I GPS'd it, the Google says 7 hours and 47 minutes, which is 462 miles from his parents' house in Laguna Niguel to Sierra College in Rocklin. So his area of study at Sierra College was graphic and industrial design. So going back to his
His more creative side. And
art
everything.
background.
Yeah.
Yep. So during his first year of school, he began dating a girl named Kim Sly, and they seemed
Sly?
Sly, yeah, Sly, SLY. They had a pretty normal teenage college relationship, nothing really noteworthy. I guess he got pretty decent grades and made close friendships. His roommate from his freshman year, his name was Sean Dixon, and that was noted to be his best, closest friend. So, like I said, he had planned to return his sophomore year, and he was eager, and he had plans, full college schedule, course load, everything. He actually returned to campus 2 weeks early, before classes were set to start. And when speaking with family and friends, they noted nothing different. So this is when shit starts kind of going weird.
So upon returning to school.
The 2 weeks, so he, like I said, he returned to school 2 weeks early.
Right. So before returning to school before classes start.
Right.
Okay.
And he was speaking with his family pretty regularly, But they didn't notice a shift. But this is when I guess his friends start saying that there was an extreme shift in his personality and his behaviors.
Dun, dun.
That was in the summer of 2013, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Because this is his sophomore year.
Yeah.
So his roommate Sean and his girlfriend Kim began to notice that he was beginning to drink more heavily and more often. They reported that he began drinking hard liquor every day and up to 2/5 in a weekend.
Jesus Christ.
And his parents were quoted as saying, "We weren't naive to him underage drinking, but it wasn't to the point where it was like a problem." I mean, let's be real.
So what happened to cause this change in him?
And like, let's be real. He's a kid in college.
Right.
And like, his parents are like,
Right.
we're clear that he drinks.
Well, like, I know my kids drink.
Right,
I just-
exactly. But like,
that's a big shift. He said if he went to drinking this much.
right. And to where his roommate and his girlfriend are like tracking how much he drinks, that's a big difference. To where, you know, yeah, you went out in a weekend and you had a fifth of vodka or whatever it was.
He went to a kegger and came home drunk.
Right, you
once
came
or
home
twice,
wasted,
but
okay,
not
whatever.
He's drinking these fifths during the week.
Every day of
that's wild.
in one weekend, you know
That's
what
a
I mean?
lot.
Yeah.
So then let's add unprescribed medication that he gets his hands on amphetamine, to be exact. My notes say, let's add an unprescribed amphetamine to the mix, shall we? So he is, oh my God, this is wild to me. So I did a lot of research on, he starts taking, well, I'm air quoting, he starts experimenting with Vyvanse.
What is that?
Vyvanse is commonly used to treat ADHD and sometimes binge eating
Yeah.
disorders. That's according to like WebMD,
I need some Vyvanse in my life.
which is still on the market. Vyvanse is still on the market.
As earlier stated, how much pizza I ate.
So it's a psychostimulant and an amphetamine. Common side effects include rapid and irregular heartbeat, delirium, panic, psychosis, and heart failure.
I don't need Vyvanse in my life.
And now, okay, like, again, let's get real here. He's 19 years old, a sophomore in college, alone on his own
And
for
this
the first
is
time.
2013.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's over the counter. But you know how some over the counter drugs, when did that law, I don't know if you know, when did that law change? Like now if you were to go buy like Wall-Fed, so
Sudafed.
you have to give your ID, you're only allowed to buy so much in a week.
Yeah.
Was that happening in 2013 already? And is this one of those drugs
You
they
need a
monitor?
prescription for this.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Prescription, like he
Oh,
got
I
his-
thought this was over the counter
No,
stuff.
no.
Oh.
You need a prescription for this.
So he was getting it from someone.
Right.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Never mind.
unprescribed. He's
Got
getting
it.
them from somebody.
Oh, that changes it then.
So
Okay.
this is very similar to like using Adderall,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
but this is on like a higher level from what I understand. And so, like I said, you're 19 years old, you're on your own for the first time at college, you're experimenting
Yeah.
with things. You know, I get it. Like, we've all done it. You know what I mean? But, like, obviously, one of the number one things, and underneath, like, you know, when you go on WebMD, it says, you know, things to avoid.
Yeah.
Avoid heavy machinery.
I'm sure it says avoid alcohol while taking this.
Avoid alcohol. Very serious interactions can occur.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I mean, whenever I go on a WebMD, I end up dying. So.
Right.
Right.
Right. You know,
Your symptoms are, I'm dead.
Correct.
My nose is running and I have a hangnail. Oh, fuck, you're dying tomorrow.
right. Yeah. Death immediate.
And I was going to say, I did a different kind of experimenting in college, but that's a different story.
But everyone has their own experiences of experimentation. Yeah, I did not take that way, but now I'm looking at Lupe and I get it. Okay.
No,
Right.
it's a joke. Were you on the pod already when I
Not
told my
yet.
gay story?
No, but
I think that was
I
a
picked it up
couple episodes.
afterwards.
It was not my choice to be gay.
No, but I listened to that
know.
episode, so I'm clear. I'm
I
back
know.
up to speed. So Vyvanse.
She just wants to get that out of her head now, that image.
Remember last week when you petted Don?
That was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, whatever.
I missed petting Don last week. I wasn't here in person. Hi, Donnie.
You petted me?
Remember when we were talking about the double-sided dildos?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a fond memory for him.
Yes.
It's in his spank bank.
You're welcome.
Don't you have kids to go babysit?
Anyways, okay. So like I said, I mean, like,
That's a dangerous combination.
It is a very dangerous
Yeah.
combination. So, like, going back to how much I'm saying that he was reported to have been drinking
Right.
and he's experimenting with this non-prescribed medication, and who knows how much he was taking because it's not prescribed to him. You know,
Right.
he has no idea of if he has any underlying health conditions that he should not be taking this medication.
Right.
So, because, I mean, he's otherwise healthy. So who knows if he has something where he has a heart condition and he doesn't know it and he should not be
Right.
taking this. So let's add all of that together. Super fucking dangerous. His reasoning, stay up later and play Xbox later.
Yeah.
To play video games. That's literally it. Not for schoolwork, you know, Xbox.
And he has a best friend and a girlfriend, so it's not like he's depressed. Like him and his girlfriend fighting at all, or is that later? Might jump in the story.
No, I
Okay.
mean, all reports they had a healthy relationship. I
Okay.
mean, and him and his best friend are like brothers.
Okay.
They've,
Yeah, they got super close.
yeah.
Okay.
And because he is an only child, I mean, you can
Right.
imagine that he's probably longing for a relationship like that. So, you weren't jumping ahead. You actually were right on track.
Oh shit.
On August 27th, Bryce broke up with Kim via text saying she'd be better off without him.
Ooh, something's going on. You change your whole behavior and
And this is so. Wait, listen. You're not jumping ahead, but you're right on track.
Yeah.
Because this whole case, I should have titled it. Alli just goes, "What the fuck," all the time.
how is someone not noticing this shit going on?
Right. Because everyone had to constantly be going, "But why? But why?
Yeah.
But why?" Okay, so then my next line. So to add to the list of things that make my head tilt is literally what I wrote.
And you're probably going to say exactly what I was about to say right now, too.
Okay, anyone knows like the signs of like suicidal thoughts?
Yes, withdrawal from people and
Giving away your prized possessions.
giving yourself away because you're not going to be there to enjoy them yourself.
Okay, so he gives away his Xbox.
Ooh, he just said he was taking the medicine to stay awake to play with.
Correct. And a pair of diamond earrings from his mother, which his mom and him are like extremely, extremely close. So, yeah. And then he gives those earrings to his roommate, his best friend, and with a note saying, "I love you, bro. Seriously, you're the best person I've ever met. You saved my soul." If you don't have full body goosebumps right now, like I don't get it.
The writing wasn't on the wall for everyone.
Right.
Seriously.
They were
Right.
reading in a
Is
different
that what you were
language.
gonna say? Yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
So like we're leading up to this whole idea of like you're preparing for saying goodbye. You're preparing
Yeah.
for suicide. Like in my mind, this is like textbook, right?
Yeah.
So buckle up. Here we go.
Buckle up, Buttercup.
Right, because we going on a journey. August 28th. So this is the next day.
Okay.
Sean, that's Bryce's roommate.
This is after he gave away his Xbox and his diamond earrings. Okay.
Next day, Sean, Bryce's roommate, called Karen, who is Bryce's mom.
Okay.
To talk to her and just really explain his concerns about his changing behavior. And then later that night, Bryce's mom gets another call, and this time it's from Bryce's now ex-girlfriend, Kim.
I do remember the story now, finally.
Okay, so now Bryce is at Kim's house, and Kim is saying Bryce is kind of acting like just,
Erratic.
yeah, erratic's not the word I want to use, just not himself.
Right.
Off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got into some sort of argument, and she has Bryce's keys, and she just doesn't feel comfortable allowing him to have his keys to go home.
Right.
Which rightfully so. I mean, especially if she's noticing that.
Right.
And if I'm not mistaken, part of the reason is, doesn't she live like 30 minutes away? It's not like she's in the
Right.
same neighborhood on campus with him.
Right. I don't know the exact time. It's like 30, 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
It's not a short drive.
Right. It's not on campus with him right next to the school.
Right,
Which
right.
which plays into why she didn't want him to leave. Yes. Okay. Yes.
And so even though they are broken up, I mean, obviously they've been dating for like a year and a half at this point.
Right.
I mean,
And she cares about him.
and it was an abrupt breakup.
Right. And again, if you say they are as good of friends, I'm sorry, even if me and my ex are breaking up or, and I care about her enough where, wait a minute, she's been acting different this last week, and now she's breaking up with me. And the best friend that I'm sure we've been together for a year and a half, I know the best friend is also concerned about. It's not going to be like, sure, go ahead and leave. Fuck you. I'm mad at you. You broke up with me. It's going to be, wait a minute, what the hell's going on here? I'm worried about your safety.
Right. And, I totally would have done the same thing, So, and like I said, they were having an argument, and to this day, it's really unknown about what they were arguing about. Probably just like breakup stuff, you know what I mean? Like, pity party,
Probably
petty.
personal petty shit. Like I said,
Yeah.
he's probably thinking of excuses to break up with her, and she's
Right.
probably begging him not to type stuff.
Yeah, it just argument stuff,
Right.
So like I said, Kim had his keys, and so she's on the phone with Karen, his mom.
Wait, let me correct it. I'm sorry. I don't want to say she's begging him not to, like she's some desperate female. I don't want to put no.
No, but
But you know what I mean? I don't want people to hear it the wrong way. Like, oh,
answer as to why,
Right.
because it was so abrupt.
Right. I just wanted to clarify that I didn't mean she's desperate. Don't break
No.
up with me, please. Like
I didn't take it that way.
no, but I don't want. I got to be worried about these ages nowadays. Someone takes it
Yeah.
the wrong way.
Sensitivity. I get it.
So, yeah. We were talking
Sorry.
about that this morning.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I mean, if Danny didn't get canceled after his racist episode,
Well, which one?
The one where
Well, with the Ariel.
The one, the one
With
where
the Ariel.
we found the white hood in his closet.
Stupid.
Oh my god.
We were talking about that this morning at work too. Sorry, I derailed you a whole lot.
That's okay.
No, it's not okay. That was bad.
Okay, I lost where I was. Okay, so like I said, has Bryce's keys. She's on the phone with Karen, his mom, and talking to her, at least trying to explain to her reasoning as to why she doesn't think that Bryce is in a good mental state as to be driving. Because like you said, it's not exactly a down the street drive. It's just not feeling right to her at this point. And I get it, but I don't. Kim and I cannot remember the roommate's name. Sean. Kim and Sean are seeing this firsthand. And this is my thought the whole point. Or the whole time. Kim and Sean are seeing him firsthand. And there's something different about seeing somebody's eyes and facial expressions and mannerisms when they're being this way. Bryce's mom and dad aren't FaceTiming him this whole time. They're just hearing his voice.
Right.
I would much rather believe somebody that is with him seeing the way his body is reacting than just hearing his voice. But
someone can mask it with their voice way more, way better than they can if someone's actually looking at you.
Absolutely.
customer service voice,
Yep.
literally
Right.
101.
Yep.
Me,
Literally, right.
my mom always makes fun of it. I'll get on the phone and I'll be like, "Yes, hi."
Right.
But also, so 10 years ago, put herself in that headspace. We've talked about this in the pod many a times. Males' mental health 10 years ago wasn't talked about as much.
100.
Right.
Plus, throw in the fact that their parents, who probably think my kid's perfect, nothing's been wrong with him. This girl's mad he's breaking up with her. His best friend's just worried. You know what I mean? Part of being a parent, part of, I'm sure, them being a parent was we trust our son away at school. He's not going to lie to us.
Right.
These friends are just seeing something. They don't know him as well as we do. We've raised him. They don't know him as well as we do.
And they kind of do have that mentality. I'm
Okay.
not trying to diss them at all.
Right.
Because he is our only child. And, we have raised him as,
Yeah.
our son. And we are so very close to him. And
He would tell us if something was wrong.
correct. They
Right.
do have that mentality a little bit. So
trust in us. He would tell us.
I get that. And these are new friends to him. They may
Yep.
not know him like we do. But they are seeing it.
Yeah.
They are the ones experiencing it.
And again, hindsight, I'm sure, 2020. I'll bet you not a day goes by in their life since then that they're not motherfucker. You know what I mean?
We should
I
have
don't even
seen the
want.
signs.
That's what I said. I don't
Oh,
want to. Like you said, I don't want to talk bad about them.
Right.
But again,
'Cause
this
they're
is
living hell every day.
That's just I can't
Okay.
even think about it.
All right, so this is kind of a brief summary of how the conversation went because there's a couple different sources of he said, she said, this is how the conversation went. So his mom is saying, Bryce, I'm worried. I'm pretty much going to make reservations to fly up there tomorrow. I'll be up there. Bryce, don't make reservations, Mom, because I have a lot to talk to you about tomorrow. Don't worry, we'll talk tomorrow. Mom, okay, go home and go to bed. I'll talk to you tomorrow. So And like I said, Karen did not think that her son sounded impaired or off by any means. So she told Kim, okay, I feel comfortable. You know, like, thank you for your concerns. Like, I really do appreciate you caring so much about my son for calling me.
And you said fly out because you said they're 7 hours away, right, from the school?
7
Yeah.
hours, 47 minutes. It's
Okay.
quite a bit.
Yep. Okay.
And how many miles did I say? It was like
300 and something, I think you said.
462.
Or 60.
Okay.
So she told Kim, give him his keys and let him drive home. And that was 11:30 p.m. Okay. So now, early August 29th, around 1 a.m. in the morning, Karen, who's Bryce's mom, missed a call from Bryce. But she didn't really think much of it. Just thought that it was him saying, hey, Mom, I'm back home at my apartment.
Right.
You know, just wanted to let you know I got home safe. La-di-da-do. But that was not it. Later, come to find out, his phone records pinged. He was nowhere near Rockland, which is where his school is. He was actually an hour past Rockland.
And yeah.
So he passed it and just kept going. So, I mean, maybe he needed to blow off some steam, right? He just kept driving. But then,
Which
Is there any significance? Is there anything past Rockland?
no.
Like, there's nothing like that's not the way to go home 7 hours. Like, it's an hour the other direction, or
Yes and no.
okay,
So, it's headed in the direction of home.
Yeah.
But it's only like half hour into that 7 hour
Okay.
drive.
okay. So he's past Rockland by an hour. You said
Yeah.
okay. So he drove past his. Is it on campus? Is it school?
Rockland is school.
So we'll just say okay.
Yeah.
All right. Continue.
So-
I'm into this now. I'm into this.
So now, we're on August 29th. So now it's approximately 11 a.m. on the 29th, and the Lapisa's car insurance company calls them and said that a vehicle on their policy requested roadside assistance, that it had ran out of gas around 9 a.m. that morning in a town called.
Button Willow.
So
And is that hour past Rockland, or is that even further away?
it's right around there.
Okay. Okay.
So there is. Okay, I love this part. My notes exactly say this is where superhero Christian, who is an employee of Castro Tire and Truck Services, comes into the picture. Literally, this guy will be superhero for the rest of the fucking episode.
I remember this guy.
Yeah.
This
real-
guy
for
deserves
real.
a fucking cape. One of those, like, little trinky dinky awards, like with like the cup on it and everything. So Christian is the guy that delivered Bryce.
Is his name just Christian, but you were calling him a superhero?
Correct.
Thought his name was Superhero Christian.
Like Bryce Harper Pizza.
Right.
That's why I was giving you a weird look like, wait, did I hear that right?
His parents were very progressive.
So this is not going to interrupt your story at all. Do we have is there a map of this that we can post on our social media to go along with the story? You had Tupac pictures, you had
Map of my.
you had Lisk pictures. Is there a map
Yeah.
of this? I'm sure we could find one.
Yeah, I'll look.
That'd be cool. Like, yeah, if we can add visual aids to this one too. That's awesome. Oh, I'm into the story again. Keep going.
So Christian was the guy that delivered 3 gallons of gas to Bryce and Button Willow. So actually, Button Willow. So I was wrong. Button Willow is halfway between Bryce's apartment and his parents' house
Oh,
in
shit.
Laguna Niguel.
It's like
so
3
it's
hours.
further.
Yeah.
So he called them when he was past Rockland, and he kept driving.
Wow.
So Button Willow. So I was incorrect when saying that, but
Okay.
so he had kept driving for a couple hours until he had ran out of gas in Button Willow, and then
So when he called at 1 a.m., they reported him out of gas at 9 a.m. That's 8 hours later, but he only technically made it 2 hours further.
right. So just
Weird.
don't even think too far into it.
Right,
because
I'm just, holy
it gets
shit.
wild.
Right. Okay.
Okay. All right. So, like I said, now he's in Button Willow, halfway between Rocklin, and Lugan and Nigel, okay? So they're thinking that he's coming home. And they're like, okay, well, because they got that call from their insurance company.
Yeah.
So they're like, all right, well, after the fight with him and Kim, he's got to be on his way home. You know, he probably, maybe his phone died or something like that. And
Yeah,
he's
getting
clearly in
gas.
Button Willow.
3 hours away from home now.
Right. So, and now it's noon. No Bryce. And
Because he got the gas at 9 a.m.
right.
So it's been the 3 hours that he kind of maybe would have been home by now.
And he's not at his apartment. And he's also not at his parents' home. So they're like, okay, if he was going for a drive to blow off steam, first of all, son, we need to talk about blowing off steam drives. They don't need to be this long.
Right.
Second
Yeah.
of all, we need to get you on a different insurance policy because you're putting a lot of wear and tear on our car. Third of all, where are you? Because you're not home and you're not at our home. So, da-da-da-da, Super Christian to the rescue. He was contacted in a panic by Karen, and him being, like I said, a superhero, he was like, listen, I'll go check on him. You know, I mean, see if the car's there. Maybe he's having car trouble.
Yeah.
You know, I'll go check on him. And guess what?
He's there.
He's in the same exact spot. He has not moved for hours. From 9 a.m. to noon, he has sat in the same spot doing God knows what. Y'all, even my legs are covered in goosebumps. I have listened to this story this week probably 4 times. And in my lifetime, probably like 10. It just baffles me.
Yeah.
Okay, from 9 a.m. to now it's noon-ish, like just estimated. And he's been in the car since 11:30 p.m. the night before.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if this is important or not. Has the car been running at all? Like, if this is California/Arizona, he's in the heat.
Right.
If the car's not running, fucking baking for 3 hours doing nothing.
So this is a 2003 car.
Okay.
So I don't think that they had that kind of like chip, anything like that in it.
Right.
Then. And that kind of information I was unable to find.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm sure it's something small, but like that's where mine goes right away. Hey, when Christian, would you show up? Was he all sweaty because the car was off, or was he like just chilling, hanging out in an air conditioned
But
car,
you also
rocking out
have
the
to
music?
remember
No?
that this is August.
Yeah, so it's going to be 100
Hot as
fucking
fuck.
million degrees
Yeah.
if it's not on with the air conditioning
In
on.
California.
Right.
Hot. Okay, so I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
So your mind and my mind are exactly on the same fucking track.
Right, 'cause that's
like,
fucking weird.
Dude's got to be roasted, right? And so no wonder he ran out of gas. But you would expect him to have ran out of gas sooner
Right.
if, 1, he's driving, 2, he's just sitting there. Is the AC running?
Right.
I don't know. So, okay. Sketchy as fuck. Like, I can't handle that. I can't wrap my head around it. Again, head tilt. Like, what the fuck?
But to go back to your beginning, if he was taking those medication, who knows what it was doing to him?
Right.
And did he have alcohol with him again or not? Was he, at least just only on the meds, not with the alcohol right now? So either way, like you said, there's no way of knowing where his headspace was right now.
Correct. So put yourself in Christian's shoes real quick.
Right.
What is he thinking? Like, is this dude okay?
Right.
Like, this guy's... I'm not trying to say that this guy's just a tow truck driver, because he's not.
Right.
You know what I mean? This guy is literally...
He's obviously got a heart if this guy drove all the way back there
He's
to check
dad,
on him.
I'm assuming. He's a dad.
Is he older?
I don't know.
Oh.
But I have that feeling in my heart that, like, he's got kids or he's got nieces or nephews where...
Oh, see, that's because in my mind, I'm picturing like a 22-year-old kid that just drives this AAA car. Like, let me go fucking fine. I'll go check on him.
From what I read, he owned this tire and auto shop.
Okay, so yeah, I'm picturing now an older man now.
So I'm picturing like a dad or an uncle or somebody that...
Fatherly figure.
Yeah. So, but he's got to be thinking like, okay, I don't even think that this dude is not right. Like, something is got to be wrong.
Right.
Whether that be medically, I'm not sure, but like headspace wise. So Christian then calls Bryce's family and kind of fills them in. And Bryce agreed to finish the 3-hour drive home to Laguna Niguel. And this is now 3 p.m. Okay. So I'm going to just put this out there to the pod world. I am terrible at math. But 3 plus 3 equals 6. Okay.
Righto.
Okay, right.
Thought it was 8.
Oh, is it?
Almost 100% of the times it is 6.
Okay. So his parents also came up with that total. So that proves to me to be correct. But when 6 p.m. came and went and Bryce didn't show up and his phone wasn't being answered, they reported him missing with the Orange County Sheriff's Department. Oh, let me back up a little bit. The only thing that Christian did note was that Bryce's eyes were just a little bit red. But, I mean, at this point, like I said, he had been up since 11 p.m.
Probably hasn't slept.
The previous day. And who knows how long he had been up before that.
Right.
Well, unless he napped during those 3 hours.
Right.
But
I mean, even
sounds like probably not.
even that too. Like even like when I know
You're
when I
in the fucking desert.
Right.
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 like I know when I take naps and I wake up, I'm like, oh shit, I have my contacts in, my eyes are bloodshot.
Right.
Mine too.
I mean, there's a million things that could be causing that, but benefit of the doubt. So, like I said, they feel like they didn't have a choice, and for them to get any sort of response, and I know this being a dispatcher, for them to do a ping on a phone, a lot of times you have to have what's called existential reasons, and they reported him missing to be able to get that ping on his phone that wasn't being answered. So during that, I'm air quoting, investigation process, when they reported him missing, the ping on his cell phone, are you ready for this?
Same spot.
8 miles away.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, he maybe didn't move, but the tower's 8 miles away, so it pinged there.
So when the police arrived at the ping location, they found the Toyota Highlander on the same road, 8 miles. Louder for those in back. 8 miles.
So.
Wait, let me just clarify that for you. That's in the same fucking town still of Buttonwillow. Y'all, he hasn't even left the town.
Well, 8 miles, 3 hours, only going 8 miles.
Okay, so he literally just parked on the side of the road, same town, 8 miles, just sitting there. And I want you to read this out loud.
Insert what the fuck arms in the air.
So they found the car with him in it, or just the car?
Him in it, sitting there on the side of the road, 8 miles down the road.
Was he pushing the car?
So, let me see your what the fuck arms in the air. Like they just don't care, because I don't know. So upon officers approaching the vehicle and speaking with him, I guess they can't do a traffic stop because he's been stopped for 8 fucking years already.
Wellness check.
Yeah, that's essentially what they do. They speak with him, and they said, this is the part that drives me nuts. This is a quote. He seemed extremely lucid and with it. And his explanation, and I have that in all capitals, he was simply relaxing and letting off steam. I said, bro, get a stress ball. I can't.
Like, those are what the officer says his quote was. Bryce's quote was, I'm relaxing and letting off steam.
Yeah. And the officers said, I quote, he seemed extremely lucid and with it.
And then by this time,
So this is 6 hours, 8 miles only, because if Christian came there after 3 hours, and then 3 hours later the cops show up there, he's moved 8 miles in 6 hours, basically.
Right.
And he's blowing off steam.
Right. Actually, even longer than that.
Minimum 6 hours longer, probably,
because
yeah.
remember, he got gas, and he was in that same spot.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he moved even less. We'll get to the more math in a minute, but my head has to recover from the first set.
and really not hitting the math too much, but he's been in the car since 11:30 the night
before.
prior.
Yeah, hold on, we'll get there.
So
We'll get
by this time, if he doesn't have any more of the what was that medicine called?
Vyvanse.
Vyvanse. It's got to be pretty much out of his system.
Does it have
But
your system that quick?
Remember, listen, you have to remember that medications like this, even if they're not in your system, they have lasting effects in
Right.
your. They
Right,
alter your
yeah.
body's They don't alter your body's chemical makeup, but they alter the way that your brain works.
Yeah.
But also, this is me going to the extreme. If Christian showed up there and the police showed up there, and I'm sure they would have noticed like bottles of piss in the car. If he's not hydrating, who's to say that shit is flushing out of his system? Maybe
Right.
he's sweating if it's that hot in California.
And
But you're not drinking. You're not. You know what I mean? Like this is all again
I couldn't
side
find
stories. You know what I mean?
anywhere- I couldn't find anywhere that like they said they noted anything.
That's what
like
I mean.
that
If
out
the
of
cops said
normal.
he was lucid and fine, I'm sure the cops would have been more than just, "You okay, kid? All right, see you later."
So wait a minute, I get into that.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, all right. So officers now request to search his vehicle.
Oh, there you go.
So
See?
yeah, listen, I got this, y'all. you forgot who you're talking to. 16 pages of research. No, 16 pages. Anyways, officers request to search his vehicle, and to which he agreed. He had no problem with that, and they find nothing. They find no alcohol. They find no medication not prescribed to him. They find literally nothing of note. They find just normal, I'm packing to go on a trip stuff. Like they find a duffel bag with just like clothes, maybe some toiletries in there, a laptop, a phone, wallet, keys. Like, and then like, you know, like shit that's in a trunk. You know what I mean? Like car stuff.
That's fucked up.
So then they said, "Are you willing to submit to a field sobriety test?" He said, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah, he agreed to that.
Passed all of them.
What
Flying
the hell?
colors. So what's going on, right? Like, I mean, like, I'm
This is fucked up.
I don't have words, and for me to not have words, I just don't understand. Okay, so now this is the part that just gets me. The officers felt comfortable enough to just say, "Okay, I'm gonna let you go." But the whole reason that we're out here is because you were reported missing. You know, obviously they're telling him this the whole time. You know, your parents are super worried about you, and we need you to call them. This is when, like you said, they're basically doing a well-being check
Right.
on him. So we need you to call your parents and let them know that you're okay. This is when Bryce gets a little sketchy.
Really?
So I guess he kind of clams up a little bit, and he goes, he doesn't want to call his parents. Gets real fucking evasive about it. Doesn't want to call them. So the officers dial his phone and like hand the
Basically
phone
force him to speak with his mom.
Oh, so they dial out from his phone.
and hand the phone to him and listen to him talk to his mom.
Huh.
So I guess that conversation was brief, and basically the gist of the conversation was what happened during the police interaction. You know, that I passed the field sobriety test. They took everything out of my car. And this is what was quoted. "Bryce, what are you doing?" "Putting things back in my car." And, you know, because they had just took everything out to search the car. And when his mom asked what was he still doing there, he kind of like said that he was planning to meet with some friends, but unknown friends at an unknown time. And the officers just left, assuming that he was just going to finish putting the shit in his car and be on his way. So yeah, they just said that they're going to go, and they're just going to leave him be, let him finish putting his shit in his car the way that he wants it, and let him go about his way. Now, we're going to play a game. Are you ready?
Yes.
I know you guys love games.
Tic-tac-toe.
Don, are you ready?
Bingo.
I ready.
Guess who doesn't show up at home?
Karen. Sean.
Karen! Guess who doesn't show up at home?
Bryce. Harper.
Bryce doesn't show up at home. Yeah. Guess.
I wanted to say that, but I thought that was too obvious of the.
Okay. All right. You get it. All right. We're gonna. There's another question. Ready? Don, this is your chance for redemption. Guess who saves the day again?
Christian.
Gotta let Don answer.
Don doesn't answer.
Yay!
Don's the silent partner. He doesn't talk.
All right. So
Sorry, not
There's
to
nothing to make witty one-liners about so far.
you're right.
not to interrupt and backtrack, but Vyvanse, the effects last 10 to 14 hours. The drug is typically out of your system within 5 hours and all the way untraceable within 8. But if he's abusing it, obviously it's going to be a lot longer of a duration.
Right.
So, which makes sense.
Right. Because
Okay.
who knows how much he's taking
Right, and
per his
yeah.
body weight
And
with alcohol on top of it.
and just like pictures of him, he looks like he's a pretty well-built person.
He's stocky.
Yeah.
I mean, he's muscular.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like he looks like he's been in a weight room a few times.
Yeah.
Beefy.
Yeah. But he's also not taking probably one Vyvanse.
Right, he's probably popping at least 2 or 3, maybe.
But also, who knows the milligrams that, or who he's
Right,
getting
that
them from.
too. Yeah.
Right, because again, if it's not prescribed to him, they could be prescribed to a 14,000-pound man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
100%. So,
Yeah, sorry, I
no, that's
backtracked a little bit.
That's okay. All right, so again, Christian, back out he goes, and no surprise, where Bryce is found. Right where the officers freaking left him. Y'all, I can't. Like,
Wait, how much longer is this now? How much later is this? So if the officers were there at what, 6?
I don't know what time the officers even came out there anymore.
Because Christian came at 3, right?
Right, I mean, the officers,
And then he should have been home at 6. So we're saying the officers earliest would be 6. But let's say they said, oh, he's not here at 6.
well, because they had to run the ping and everything like
Right.
that. So let's say like 7:30, 8 o'clock.
So then 3 hours later, they're calling Christian at 11 o'clock at night, let's say, because it's 3 hours and he's not home yet.
Okay, so wait, hold on. We'll get to a time in just a
Okay,
second.
okay.
So now Christian's like, dude, listen, I'm done playing with you. Like, you gotta go home. Get out of my town. Like, your family is super worried about you.
Mm-hmm.
And now Christian is on, their family's Christmas card list and like besties
Right.
with them, and so he makes an agreement with Bryce's family to actually follow Bryce onto the I-5, which is the highway, to get home to Sierra Nigel, and follow him for a little while to ensure that he is moving. Okay? So,
At least in the general direction of the house.
Right.
hell, fucking moving?
Out of Button County.
Button Willow.
Button
yeah.
Willow.
I like saying Button Willow, by the way. I think that's fun.
That's why I jumped ahead, because I really wanted to say Button Willow.
Say it again, because we're about done with it.
Button Willow.
Yeah.
Button Willow.
Yeah. It's fun.
Button Willow.
Baton Willow. All right, so Christian follows Bryce onto the I-5 to ensure that he is driving in a forward motion. He follows him for 10 miles. This was at 12:30.
A.M.
Yes.
So he's a fucking saint for answering his phone that late, too.
Right.
Yep.
So I was almost right. Like I said, I'm
Yep.
saying best case scenario is 11 o'clock, the
Yep.
earliest.
Yep.
So 12:30. Okay,
Yep.
good.
So now at this point it's 24 hours.
Right.
Well, 25 hours.
So let's take a recap, shall we?
Minimum
let's
25 hours, saying he
yeah.
left at 11
Bryce
o'clock from.
has traveled 8 miles in a span of 15 and a half hours, traveling for a total of over 26 hours.
Yeah.
I told you I would get there. You just got to give me time, baby.
And that concludes part 1 of this episode then.
So listen, stay tuned for the completion of this episode
Conclusion.
Yeah.
Bryce Lapisa.
because I got it. I got all the answers.
Spoiler alert. He is still missing. If you know any information, please contact your local Crime Stoppers.
All right.
So,
I don't know if many people care. Saturday, SummerSlam.
tomorrow, we are recording on a Friday, so this will drop. So our predictions are going to be
Worthless.
echoed forever in the annals of podcast history.
This will just be a record of who was right and who was wrong.
I'm right, even if I'm wrong.
All right.
Lupe just looked at me like, what?
I got the card up.
Good. Let's start. What's the first match?
The Slim Jim Battle Royal.
Okay.
I don't know who all is in it.
LA Knight's winning it.
2 people I know for sure is LA Knight and Sheamus. I'm going LA Knight.
LA Knight's winning it.
LA Knight, yeah.
Sheamus.
The way they're pumping him up. Sheamus and LA Knight were actually wrestling right now when I left the house.
Yeah, they had a match tonight.
But during that match, everyone from that Mini Royal Rumble or Mini Battle Royale came out to the match.
I just think it's going to... Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
I just think
guarantee
it'll be
no
LA
real
Knight
winner.
because he's going to start getting a push soon.
Oh, they're hyping him so much, too. Yeah.
Jeez, that was loud.
All right. Lupe, you said LA Knight, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And Allie says Sheamus.
She's losing.
Sheamus O'Toole.
Do you remember what I said about your vagina earlier and how I was going to stick my...
Are you writing these down, Lupe?
Yeah, I'm going to write them down. See.
All right.
Allie said Sheamus.
Next match, we got Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler MMA rules match. Personally, I think it'll be Shayna because this is Ronda's.
Are you
I can't talk
okay?
tonight. It's
Daily.
Ronda's supposedly retiring after this match.
That's what I read somewhere. It's supposed to be her last match.
Yeah, so
So is she going out on top or is she going out losing?
no, she'll probably put Shayna over.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. So I think Shayna's going to take that one.
Yes.
I'm calling Ronda.
I'll go Rondo.
Okay, so me and Don
Shayna bothers me. I don't like her.
says Baszler.
Ronda bothers me.
I don't know how to spell her name. I'm just
BASZLER.
I put BAZY.
Just Shayna. You'll understand Shayna or whatever.
See, Allie and Dan.
Rondale.
Rhonda.
So
They-
between matches while you're writing, every time we talk about wrestling, Easton always says, my favorite, she loves Cody. She loves Cody.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Cody Rhodes.
She loves Cody Rhodes. And also she loves, both of the girls are like, Seth freaking Rollins. And they say his name, but that might be Easton's walk-up music for softball this year.
Oh,
That's
nice.
funny.
Burn it down!
All right.
And then
That was
Rylan
supposed
out
to
of
be my
nowhere.
walk-up
Really?
music, yeah.
Out of nowhere the last few weeks, Rylan was like, who do you like in wrestling? I like Bianca Belair. Like, Rylan's in love with Bianca Belair right now. So, sorry, Donnie, go ahead.
I mean, if we're talking about who we're in love with, it's Rhea Ripley.
I'm finally coming down off that high for a little
All right. Next match I got here is the Intercontinental Championship match with Gunther
I think Gunther's going to
versus Drew McIntyre. I think it's going to be Gunther because they're going to have him beat Honky Tonk Man's record.
Okay, so here's my explanation. I think Drew McIntyre is going to take the belt, and Gunther's actually eventually going to face Austin Theory to take the U.S. champ.
So I saw something on a TikTok that they think, from what they've heard, Gunther's going to lose to Drew, so it frees up Gunther to go after Seth Rollins, which means they're also predicting Seth to keep the belt, but which is wrong because the same guy that predicted that shit predicted different shit for the Seth Rollins and Baylor fight. So besides all that shit, reading stuff, I'm in love with Drew McIntyre. Heart, I want him to win, so I don't care who's going to win. I think Drew's going to win. He's Scottish. I'm Scottish.
My reasoning is I think Gunther's 36 days away from the record. They're not taking it off of him yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. They had Roman Reigns break the one record. Why would they have another guy break it? I don't know. What do you think, Allie?
I just like saying Gunther.
So Don now.
I hate the guy in his little fucking posse, though, with the long neck and the big ears. That guy's weird looking.
I fucking love him. He's the one that announces them when they come
Yeah,
out.
yeah. Ugh.
One time I farted so long, I was surprised that my butt didn't have to stop and catch its breath. Interviewer. And that's a weakness?
Synced it.
Oh, I thought
Shared
you were
it.
telling us a story about what happened to
I know,
you
I'm like-
actually.
I'm like, what is going on?
By the way, I'm not even going to finish that sentence.
All right. Next match we have Ricochet versus Logan Paul. As much as I hate Logan Paul, I hate how I love how good he is at wrestling. He's lost too many matches in a row, and I think he's beating Ricochet.
That one's where I'm kind of torn.
Yep.
And I also am taking him because of what he said to Ricochet on Monday.
About having his wife announce him as the winner.
His girlfriend, yeah.
That was, man, bro, that was crazy.
But he missed the best opportunity of just saying something like, your girl's going to be screaming my name.
Right.
Yeah.
They kept it PG.
PG.
I know.
So I'll let you go first, Lupe.
Like I said, I'm torn on that one. I want to say Ricochet, but I'm thinking it's going to be Paul.
See,
I just think he's lost too many in a row.
here's the thing. I think again, me not knowing as much behind the scenes and reading as much insider shit as you might, Donnie, and not watching wrestling. I've only watched a handful of Raw since WrestleMania. I've only watched pay-per-views. I think Logan Paul, to me, I get the idea like a lot of people backstage don't like him because he wasn't a wrestler. He came in as who he was. So
A YouTuber.
I see them as not wanting to put him over, and maybe Ricochet to me, like even James, like he's exciting, but he's boring. Like to us, it's not. He's not fun to like. He's fun to watch against a Logan Paul, but the storyline to us is boring already. So I think they might use him beating Logan Paul to try and get him over more, like because of Logan Paul putting everything on his channel. So maybe Ricochet will get more followers that way. So I'm going with Ricochet, but it could be Logan Paul.
Alli?
Which name do you like better, Ricochet or Logan Paul?
Mashed potatoes.
It's closer to Ricochet. We'll put her down to that.
Ricochet.
Ricochet.
They sell tacos at Ricochet. Tacos.
Actually, there is a place called Ricochet
I know.
Tacos.
I know. I stopped
She
there.
said
I know,
that.
that's what I just said.
I stopped there a couple weeks ago.
All right.
Dude.
Next match is the WWE Women's Championship.
Okay, Becky Lynch.
Asuka.
She's not wrestling.
Okay.
Asuka versus Charlotte Flair versus Bianca Belair.
Charlotte Flair.
See, as much as my daughter loves Bianca Belair, I don't like her. I think Asuka's going to keep it.
Okay. Hold on. Alli said...
I'll tell you why I'm conflicted with this one.
But I hear they're trying to put Charlotte Flair over again to give her some kind of record for winning the championship the most amount of times or something stupid like that.
Alli said Charlotte. Dan said...
Asuka.
Don.
I hope and I think it'll be Asuka. I'm hoping WWE doesn't do what they usually do and give Charlotte
That's
the
what I'm
belt for
thinking.
no fucking reason.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because she's already 14-time champion. She
what they're
doesn't
gonna
need
do.
it.
She's a Flair.
Yeah, that's exactly
period.
what I'm thinking.
That's period.
Let's go with a bonus point. Does Io Sky cash in her Money in the Bank?
Ooh.
I think, okay, and this is a lot to write down. I'm not going to write it down. We'll just have to remember it. I think Charlotte's going to win. Io Sky's going to cash in the Money to Bank to take that belt.
That's not too much to write.
That's a lot to write.
Just Charlotte Flair, Io Sky cash in.
To take the belt, okay.
Put EO with a money sign. EO with a cloud, money. I would know what it means.
So again, sidebar. On my way here, I just read a story that I don't think it'll happen, but they're saying that if WWE wanted to impose one of their old-fashioned rules, they could strip Rhea Ripley of her title because they in the WWE bylaws, you're supposed to defend your title within 30 days, and she hasn't in over 30 days. She's done it, they said, at live events, but not on a taped recording lately. So they said they could take her title away, and she's not scheduled to defend her title at SummerSlam at all. So
Yeah,
they
but
won't take it away from her.
Yeah, if she's
If that was the case, Roman would have had one of his belts taken away a
Yeah.
long time ago.
Either way, it's just some stupid story I read. Like I don't believe.
But no,
in
I
this
thought
shit.
it was 30 days after they won the title.
I guess it's every 30 days they need to have at least
Oh, no
one
shit.
title defense.
Okay.
One
I didn't know
televised.
that.
Yeah, that's what it said.
Speaking of titles,
Yep.
WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins. This one's tough for me.
This is the super hard
Yeah.
one for me.
I'm going to go first.
Okay.
I think Finn Balor's going to take the belt, and Damian Priest is going to cash
You
in the
think
Money
he is
in the
going to
Bank.
cash it on his own? See, that's where I'm torn. If Finn Balor wins,
I say Finn.
will Damian cash it in? I don't know because that'll tear apart Judgment Day.
I think that's where it's going.
If Seth
that's where
wins,
it's heading.
will he cash it in? You know, like, and I hope Judgment Day breaks up because I don't like Dirty Don. I'm sorry. When he's on, I just don't want to watch anymore. And I do like Damian Priest lately. Like I didn't realize how big and fucking huge he is. That guy's a monster.
Yeah.
I'm going with Seth Rollins. Lupe. What?
Dan is Seth Rollins. I said Finn.
You said Finn and then
And
Damian
then
Money.
Damian Money in the Bank. You said Baylor, and you're saying Baylor too.
No. I think it'll be Seth. I don't know if they'll do it.
Is this the match where they banned Judgment Day from the side of the ring? Or no? 'Cause I thought
I
there
don't
was
know.
a match they banned there.
I don't know if they'll do it, but I think Seth will win, and possibly Damian trying to cash in, but Finn fucks it up for him because he lost.
Ooh.
That would be another good way of the Judgment Day downfall.
Ooh. I just think there's so much more available for Rhea if she's not with Dom and Judgment Day. Like, there's so many more available storylines for her to be just dominate the women's league.
Next match, Cody versus Brock.
Cody.
It's
Cody.
It's Cody.
And that's because it's a little bit predictable because they've already had, 3 matches now?
This is
This
the
is
third
the
match.
third.
This is
This is the third?
tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've each
Cody.
won one.
Cody's going to take that
Yeah.
one.
That's one of the more predictable matches.
Which is why it might go to Brock because everyone thinks it's going to be Cody for sure.
I know
Brock.
See?
So she's going to go the odd man out.
That's
Which-
what I'm here for.
That's just what.
Which actually, it kind of makes sense too because
Right.
you're right. Like that, everybody's expecting Cody to win, but at the same time, there's talks of Brock actually retiring after this year.
Oh, really? So that also brings back the extra storylines that other places were hinting at. If Cody wins, that sets up him with that. Is that a belt, right? That's on the line? Or just them
No,
fighting?
just
No.
them.
Just them fighting.
Oh, then never mind. I forgot where I was going with that.
And then we get to the main event, the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Roman Reigns
Roman Reigns.
versus
West Wombs?
Yeah.
Are we taking it back there?
Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso in a tribal combat match.
I'm going first on this one.
Okay.
Is this the one? One of these matches, I thought they said the people couldn't be on the outside. But besides all that, here's
I think the tribal combat match is no one can interfere.
so Roman will have Solo on his side, and Jay will have Jimmy
Jimmy
on his
probably
side.
won't be there because he's been injured. He hasn't been on TV.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's right, he has
So that brings me to Solo trying to involve somehow, and then all of a sudden you hear, "If you smell with the Rock," and he comes in and he's on Jay's side.
Oh, no.
Because that sets up the Rock is supposed to be the host for the WrestleMania in LA, right? Or whatever's the next.
I didn't hear anything.
I read that. Or is that an old TikTok
That's
I saw?
probably an old one.
Fuck. Well, no, you know what? Here's the thing. I did see someone predict this because they said with Hollywood being on strike, Rock has nothing to do, so it gives him perfect time to spend more time at wrestling.
That's true.
He doesn't, but if he comes back, I think he's going to come back to do something with what's his name?
The one I sent you, did I send
Grayson
you?
Waller.
Fuck that guy. That's annoying. I know. I think the Rock's coming back, and after whoever wins the match, he's gonna be like, "Fuck you guys, I'm the real tribal chief, bitch." But that's my. I predict Jay.
I mean,
Whether Rock comes out or not, I'm saying Jay's winning it.
Roman's winning because Cody's taking the titles from him at the next WrestleMania.
There's still another pay-per-view in between that, though.
There's a bunch of pay-per-views in between that.
Just one.
I'm going to go Jay because it started with Jay. Actually, it started with Jimmy, right?
What?
No, it was Jay that he faced Roman before.
Well, Roman's actual reign began with Bray Wyatt.
No, I'm not talking about the actual reign. I'm talking about who faced Roman. Was it Jimmy or Jay?
Jay.
Okay. It started with Jay.
You talking about the last time he got pinned?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay.
That was
It
Jay. Yeah, it was
started
Jay.
with Jay. It's going to end with Jay. So I'm going with Jay. Don, you said Roman?
Yeah. Because he's facing Cody at the next Mania for the belt.
Yeah.
He's going to hold it for another year.
Well, the year's almost over. Be 6 months.
It wouldn't make sense for him to lose the belt at a pay-per-view like this. It's going to
This
be
is a big pay-per-view.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the top four. They say
It's
there's
one of
four
the
big-
bigger ones, yeah, but a belt loss like that's going to be a WrestleMania
Because when I was
match.
doing some more research, they said the biggest four pay-per-views: WrestleMania, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, and Survivor
Royal
Series.
And Royal Rumble.
So then 5.
Yeah. But a belt loss like that, it's not going to be for SummerSlam.
Roman's getting tired. He's getting played out.
I don't know. Don, you want to put money on that? I'll put money on that for you. With you. I think Jay's going to take it. $10.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, snap. Allie?
Put $10 on the line.
Roman.
Roman.
We said Roman.
Is that the last match?
That is the last match.
Yep, they
Really?
took Becky and Trish off the card
Really?
Which is weird.
for a time constraint reason. I don't think they wanted to like flood the card with too many matches.
Wow.
And then because I don't know who else.
Oh, yeah, because then the Sami Zayn and KO, because KO's hurt.
He's
Yeah,
injured,
KO's
yeah, so they don't have a match. There were rumors of Randy coming back, but he's still,
Right, I've heard that
he's
too.
still too injured.
Same with
He hasn't been cleared.
Big E. He hasn't been cleared. He said he
He's
feels
been-
100%.
he's been told that he should never wrestle again.
Really?
Hmm.
I also read an interview by the original Bro, Matt Riddle, is that his name, right? That he said he would love if Randy comes back. I guess they were tag team artists before, but if they created their own faction with
Yeah,
Edge.
their tag team name was the RK Bro.
Right, he said it would be
Rated RK
Rated
Bro.
RK Bro.
Yeah.
Edge, Matt Riddle, and Randy Orton would make their own faction, Rated RK Bro.
That'd be the shit. Well, you
So
heard it
I do
here
have a
first.
question for you, Donnie, or you, Lupe. Because I don't watch wrestling as much, how is there more than one world champion? Like, Roman's the unified champion of what? What's unified?
So,
Is there like it's a Raw belt and a SmackDown belt? Or
It
Yeah.
was.
yeah.
They were.
Yeah.
okay, so then what champion is what's Seth freaking Rollins? What is his championship belt?
World Heavyweight Championship.
World Heavyweight. Yeah.
And what is Roman's?
It's the
Undisputed.
undisputed.
And is that higher than Seth Rollins? Are they equal, or which one's better?
Romans is higher.
It's higher. Not by much, but it's higher.
So like in a fake made up world, could Roman and Seth wrestle and he can have 3 belts and be like the undisputed world?
Because
whatever.
when they brought the belt back for Seth,
Mm-hmm.
they made it clear that there was one belt for each brand now, like it was before, but
So
they're not
who's-
colored or anything.
So Seth has the belt for Raw.
For Raw, yeah,
Who has a belt for SmackDown?
Roman.
But he has 2 belts. What's his other belt for?
No, I don't know why Heyman's carrying those around still, because they debuted a new belt, so he's only carrying one belt
I think he's carrying them just to represent that he
won them.
Yeah.
he won them. Yeah.
So if he loses to Jay, is he going to have 2 belts or just the one unified belt now?
If he loses to Jay, he doesn't have anything. Jay
That's
will
what
have
I
the
say. Will
belt.
Jay have 2 belts, or they can just have him
No,
have the
they'll
one?
just
It'll
have that
just
one
be
belt.
one.
Yeah.
So the 2 will go away then.
Yeah.
And then Gunther is the,
Intercontinental.
and there's only one of those, right? Not
Right.
one for each show. And then is there a SmackDown Women's Champion and a Raw Women's
So
Champion?
there was, but they changed it because they gave them new
Oh,
belts.
right.
Oh.
That's right. That's right.
So Asuka is the WWE just women's
And what's Rhea?
champion. She's the WWE women's heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
So like there's a weight class to it, or is
Not,
it just?
I mean, not
They
really.
just-
Her
they just
her
use
belt
it
is
like that.
identical to Seth's.
Yeah. Just a
And
little
Asuka's
smaller.
belt is identical to Roman's.
so then Asuka's
Looks
higher than
wise.
Rhea, basically. Then
Kinda, yeah.
wow.
And then there's just the women's tag team belts and then the men's tag team belts, which I'm surprised they haven't.
Those are unified too, then,
Unified.
right? Because doesn't Sammy and KO come with 2 belts too?
Yeah, so those are unified. That's why I'm surprised they haven't brought out new belts for those yet.
That might be in the works right now, though.
Probably is.
Because here's my question again. They unify it. There's 1 belt total. So that means if Sammy and KO, they have the 1 belt and they're on Raw, that means nobody from SmackDown can ever take that belt unless Sammy and KO do a draft again. They end up in SmackDown?
No, they'd probably do something to where someone from another brand could take it at like a pay-per-view or something.
Yeah, but how would you lead up to that? Because they're never going to wrestle each other if they're on opposite nights. Until all of a sudden a pay-per-view, hey, Sammy and KO
Well-
are going against these guys from Friday night out of nowhere.
So recently,
I mean, they can because, people have been on different shows lately anyways.
Right.
Sammy,
Well, I saw Dirty Dom took the NXT championship.
yeah, but that's
Sammy and Kevin have been on both shows.
Okay.
That's what I was getting to, though.
Pretty sure.
I think the draft is pretty much null and void now.
Okay.
According to something I read, that Triple H was just going to completely ixnay the draft, and anybody who has a belt can be on both shows. But everybody who was already in the draft and got drafted to the specific shows,
They're on that show.
they're on that show.
Okay. So is it? So me and Jamie, the way we look at it, is Raw still way highly rated over SmackDown? So you want to be on Raw because like you're the lesser faction on SmackDown.
So yes and no.
Lately, I think SmackDown had the better ratings
show,
because
yes.
of the Bloodline story.
Yeah. Got it. We said we were stopping Alli's story short to end, and now we're talking about wrestling forever.
No, but that's pretty much it. We got our predictions.
Excellent.
Yeah. So I think Alli, you did an awesome job.
Hell yeah! I'm like fucking waiting for next week now.
I know.
Like like I told you, I've heard the story twice from 2 other podcasts, and I kind of know it, but the way you're telling it is like I'm in it. I'm like, fuck, I can't wait to hear from you more. Like,
Cool.
Props.
Thanks.
It's great.
Thanks, guys. I like doing the research, so.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I know when she told me, she's like, I think at the time you were like, I have like 4 pages done already, and this was like 2 or 3 days ago.
Yeah.
And then today she's like, my hand hurts. I'm like, you're just writing too much. She's like, yeah. And out of nowhere, she's like, but I'm done. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. I figured like maybe 8 pages.
Yeah.
No, 8 pages back to front and back. So 16 pages total. I'm like,
I think why I like it is because I like the story so much. And I feel like when I'm listening before, I'm like, oh, what? Like I have my own questions,
Right.
but I'm front row right now, and I can ask the questions, and you can answer them. Like, well, what about this? What about this?
see, and that's what's nice. Like us listening to other true crime podcasts and stuff like that. Like we can't, like what you just said. Even like what Jesse says. Like
he wants to talk to us. Yeah,
he's like, I want to talk to you guys, but I know like I'm just listening to you guys, and this was already recorded.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice to listen to a podcast and have that story covered, but if you have
And
actual
put
like
your
questions,
own spin on it.
yeah, exactly.
Because my, insert what the fuck arms
Yeah.
here. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
like seriously, like I'll be driving in my car, like screaming. You've seen me do it.
Yeah.
How many times did I rewind the? He found what in the duffel bag?
Yeah.
Dildos.
Right.
For those who don't remember, dildos.
Did you send this to them too?
What was it?
Dildos.
No.
So she sent me a picture on Instagram that
He
says,
doesn't check his Instagram.
we need to be honest with
Yeah, I
ourselves and admit that our culture started going downhill when we stopped referring to beers as Steve Weisers.
Yes. Oh, hell yeah. I'll tell you what.
I still want to try his beer.
I heard it's good. Not really. I just know people that have tried it, and I haven't heard nothing.
But I wanted to say it.
Yes.
I just
hell yeah.
Someone told me the liquor store by my hall has them.
the liquor store by his house has them.
Oh, okay.
You mean the hall that's by my house that you still don't know where it is? Do we have to do this every episode, Donald?
I think it gets put in every.
So you can find us on all your major podcasts.
Yeah, that's a good place to end it, Donald.
You know where a good place to end it is?
Oh,
Did you get him?
Yeah.
Got him.
call me ninja, bitch.
Listen to this crazy, fucked up shit really, 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 really quick.
I got him, bitch.
There's a place in Crown Point called Fahrenheit 2 something. Fucking, I think it's great food.
That's what I told you about the other day. Fahrenheit 219.
Yes, it's very good. We were there eating.
Burger.
Table literally right next to us. There's this little, like, I want to say 7-month-old baby boy. Just keeps looking at us, staring at us, turning around, laughing at Jamie and the girls, and maybe me. I don't know. We get in the car later. Easton's like, Dada, I want a baby brother. Ryan's like, I want a baby brother. We want a baby brother. I'm like, you better keep wishing it ain't happening. So we get home, and then it was the next day we're driving, and no.
Jamie's pregnant.
No, fuck. Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
Don't you put that evil on me.
But
It twitched, didn't it? It twitched.
also for a while now, anytime like there's a story on Facebook or anywhere about puppies, James like, oh, I want a puppy. I want like, we have a dog. We have 2 kids. We have a cat. Can we just try to live in our house for a year and afford the payments for a while?
That just
So-
means he's gonna have a cat and a dog soon.
So I'm like, no. So then so we're driving there today. She goes, I'm like, what? She goes, I'm like, what does that mean? She goes, the girls keep, saying they want a baby. I'm like, no. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
It's
So
giving
I-
Jamie baby fever.
I
isn't it?
literally told her, I go, you need to get a hobby. I go, you need a hobby because us having kids is not a hobby. That's we need to be able to afford our
I
house.
can't stop this look on my face.
Right.
Like,
When we first had Rylan, she had wanted, because she wanted a boy. She wants her own son. She's been around Logan since he was 5 anyways, but
Right.
to have her own son. And back then, 4 years ago, when Rylan was born, I'm like, I'm not getting any younger. I'm like, you're going to be pushing a wheelchair with the stroller. So I'm like, let's go. And then as Rylan got a little bit older and she gives you up downs, and you can see she's a straight up thug gangster from Hammond. She's a Hammond hood rat. So
for sure.
Jamie's like, nope, I'm good. I don't want any more kids. So for her to say this, I'm like, I'm even 5 years older now than I was back then when I told you I was too old.
Looking at Lupe's face, he really thought
Right, he
you
thought
were
I was
about
going
to
to
say
announce. You
Jamie's
think I'm going to announce
Yeah.
to the
I
world
was
that Jamie's
like,
pregnant over
oh
the
my
pod?
God.
No.
It twitches, doesn't
I'm
it?
just making sure it's there.
Yeah. So I told her, I'm like, you need a hobby. I'm
I
like,
will get 4 more of these put in all different
I'm like,
angles of my body. to
stop
make sure
looking
that
at puppies and stop thinking
I
about
will
babies.
never have children. Can I get one put in my ankle? How many more IUD implants
It was
can I
funny
get put in
seeing
my
how
body?
uncomfortable she looked at Danny's house that day.
Yeah.
I can tell she hates kids because she's promised the girls those things and she hasn't made them yet.
That's not even true. That is such a shit statement.
I know. I'm just fucking with you. I like to do that. Ah!
Such a shit statement.
I usually don't get a reaction out of her. It's been a while since I've gotten one out of you.
Oh,
Yeah.
it hasn't. You got one out of her last week.
Yeah.
I did?
Yeah.
Over the
Yeah.
phone?
Yeah.
What'd I say over the phone?
A lot. I don't know.
Also, it took you like 15 weeks of living with your children to ask them what colors they wanted. It took me.
No, I didn't. You asked them
I know.
at the 4th of July party.
All right. I think that's a good spot.
Well, with that being said, you can find us on all your major podcast platforms, at Instagram at 3GuysPod2021.
Taking my Barbies and I'm going home.
On Facebook, Impulsive Thoughts, and play your dun-dun-dun-dun. Donnie, tell Lupe what you did during the episode today.
Oh, I did make a Twitter.
We have a Twitter.
We have a tweeter.
A twatter.
It's at ThoughtsPod 2023.
All right, you're gonna have to remember that every fucking episode now, because I won't.
And don't worry, there won't. Just like we have a TikTok,
A
you
TikTok
won't see
that-
any
yeah.
tweets or probably TikTok. So we have one, but you won't see us on there.
It's not Twitter anymore. It's X.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Is it really?
Yeah,
How fucking
it was officially changed.
Fucking stupid.
So, but yeah. Well, this has been an awesome episode.
Yes, like I said, I'm weighted on bated breath is how it goes. I cannot wait for part 2.
Cool.
I cannot wait. Like,
Well, it's already set to go.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Like you, again, I can't say enough. You did awesome. Like,
Thank you.
It's great. It's great.
I like telling stories.
And you're good at it.
Thanks.
Yes, it's.
Stop spinning that thing before I come over there and rip it out of your fucking hands. Thank you.
I have ADHD.
He wasn't even trying to get a reaction that time.
Okay, can we end this?
I have ADD.
I'm joined here with
I need a fidget spinner.
Donnie Rowe to my right,
Yeah.
Dano on top of him,
It's nice and soft and comfortable.
and Alli P to my left.
Watching from afar.
You're not that far away.
I can get closer.
And I'm your favorite host with the most, Lupe.
Debatable.
And we out this bitch.
He's holding the camera.
Peace.